Hey, deserving listeners, 90 Day Fiancé. Let's watch.
Well, society is not going to accept this, and they're going to make fun of you, and they're going to come right up to your face, and they're going to insult you right to your face. When actually it's them. They're sitting there saying insulting things to me.
I'm through with it. I'm not going to listen anymore. I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm done with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, imagine if that were true, that you were totally on someone's side, like a mixed race relationship, like my parents getting married, and you're like concerned about other people. You're like, some people are going to say some nasty things to you. I would never say those things, and they are wrong. But some people are going to say some nasty things. Okay, but that's not what the parents are saying. They're saying people are going to say nasty things to you. They're going to say this. And they're smiling as they're saying, she gets the mom gets kind of a smile on her face sometimes. And, you got to be ready for that. And let me tell you what else they might say. They might come at you like this. They might, say, it's like an enjoyment of, let me tell you all the ways in which other people, those other people, they're going to insult you in this way.
You're forgetting why you're here. We're supposed to be staying calm and let's understand.
We are very calm.
Understand him and I.
We are talking calmly. We are not trying to fight.
Well, yeah, calmly insulting. Yeah, calm. Yeah, Jenny used the wrong word. Calm. Jenny isn't calm for totally reasonable reasons. So what Jenny should have said is, you're forgetting why you're here. You're here so that we can get along. We're here so that we can start to build a family. And for you to just be insulting me and putting me down the entire time, I don't think you're here for that reason. So let's see if she can get to that. But, no matter what Jenny says, this isn't going to go well. It's never gone well. Why do we think it's going to go well?
No. I would never go in your house and start telling you how to.
You see that smile on her face? I don't know what that means. Is it like a sarcastic smile? It's definitely smug. It's the definition of smug, I think. Or she's embarrassed, or who knows. But I think she likes it. She likes it when Jenny feels like crap. It makes her feel good. Or she feels superior. She's like, oh, look how crazy and ridiculous this old grandma white woman, I think that's, I don't know. Let me know what you think. What do you think about that smile? Because it happens a lot, particularly when she is berating Jenny. What do you think that means? Because I don't want to think ill of the mom. I think the mom's on a mission, and I think she thinks she's kind of winning right now. I think she thinks Jenny is ridiculous. Everyone understands it. Oh my God, there's nothing I can do but smile. Is that what's happening?
Live your life. I come in your house and respect you. So please do the same for me.
रिस्पेक्ट कर रही हूँ मैं कुछ नहीं बोल रही आपसे.
I am respecting you. I've never said anything against you. I'm pretty sure that's all she's done. I've never said anything. Especially when you think about last week's episode. Wow. So, and look at the dad's face. He's kind of like, huh? Interesting. So I wonder if the mom believes that, or if she's just saying that. That's interesting. It's hard to know where the mom's coming from, because we don't get a lot of time with the mom. But yeah, I understand that one.
बहुत कुछ बोल सके तो उसके बाद भी रिस्पेक्ट थोड़ी
मैं इसको समझा रही हूँ. मैं
रिस्पेक्ट में बोलने का एक वो होता है यार.
हमें इस बात की चिंता है कि अगर जेनी हमारे यहाँ आई तो लोग उसे देख कर इतना हंसेंगे, मजाक उड़ाएंगे.
This is actually pretty triggering to me because there's been this idea in our society in the United States for centuries that is very about mixed race. I don't know if it's racial that they're talking about. Obviously age, but so I grew up in it, and it's still around obviously now, but it was much more prevalent in the past, that the idea of mixed race couples was disgusting. And in some states, it was literally illegal. I've said this before, my parents, my dad's Japanese American, my mom's European American, for them to get married in 1963, it was illegal for them to get married, just like a couple states over. They lived in Washington, but they eloped to Idaho. But just a state over in Wyoming, it was actually illegal, I believe, for Asian and white people to marry up until 1965. So it was illegal to have mixed race couples in some states up until the mid 60s in the United States. And particularly, decades ago, it was illegal everywhere. And they would always say this sort of thing of like, well, we don't want you to get married because, one, everyone's going to make fun of you. And so I'm only trying to help you. And this would be said to gay people as well. I don't want you to have a gay lifestyle because everyone's going to make fun of you. Two, they would say your children are going to be abominations. They're not going to be white. They're not going to be Asian. They're going to be like some kind of weird mongrel, and they're going to be made fun of. They're going to be bullied. Is that what you want? Do you want to create children that are like disgusting to society? You shouldn't be married. There's something wrong with you. Instead of, there is something wrong with society. Instead of, we need to change society. You are wonderful and you're okay. Society is fucked up. Society is wrong. Society is wrong to judge you. Society is wrong to make fun of you. They're wrong. I'm on your side. I am your mother and I'm going to protect you and I love you and I want what's best for you and I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for you against society because society is wrong and they don't know better. They don't know that you're a wonderful kid who has picked a woman I'm not so excited about, but I love you and I want to be with you. And Jenny's a nice person and she's not what I was hoping for, but I love you and I'm going to fight for you against society. There's so many examples of this that I've lived through of, me, half Japanese. I was called an abomination by people. I was disgusting. I was like, what are you? Are you Asian? Are you white? Like there's, not only by white people, but by Asians. Asians being in Japan, being in Asia, to be like, are you half, Japan has this weird relationship with, not so much anymore, but in the past with half Japanese people like me. On one hand, we're considered these exotic, beautiful things that are sought after. But on the other hand, we're disgusting abominations. So it's not just white people. It's not just America. Don't ever think that Americans have a monopoly on racism and weirdness and, anti-miscegenation. So when the mom is saying these kinds of things, like, people are going to make fun of you. People are going to make fun of her. It feels very much like all of that, which I just have to say, it's just not okay. It's not okay.
तो उसे गुस्सा आता है तो लोग बोलेंगे तो तब जेनी का क्या रिएक्शन होगा, क्या करेगी?
आप यहाँ पे आए हो, आप ये बोल के आए थे हम पॉजिटिव माइंड से आएंगे, लेकिन चांस देने का मतलब इस तरह से अगर आप स्टार्टिंग इस तरीके से करोगे, ये आपका एंड का रिव्यू होना.
So finally, Sumit is starting to step in, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just blows his top, because he's been really trying hard to hold everything, and I think he was really holding out for this sliver of possibility that this was a step in the right direction of inviting the parents into the house. And I wouldn't be, because he's prone to that. He's a very vulnerable. I mean, it's understandable. He's a lot of feelings there. So I don't know if we're going to see an explosion of those feelings for him right now.
तो कुछ भी रिजल्ट निकले, लेकिन उसके लिए पहले पॉजिटिव स्टार्ट करके अगर बाद में उसको गलत जाता तो बात अलग है. लेकिन
कह रही हूँ मैं, इसको गलत तरीके से नहीं बोल रही हूँ.
अभी तो इस बारे में बातचीत, अभी तो जो कुछ तुम आए हो सिखाने के लिए, जो कुछ उनको बताने के लिए.
So interesting, we're seeing the dad saying, oh, let's put this aside. You're here to teach her things. That was the whole thing here. You're here to help her out. That seems like the dad is trying to redirect. I don't think the mom is redirectable, though. She has shown no signs of flexibility, no signs of actual goodwill towards Jenny. But it's interesting to see that the dad is like, there's been a number of times with the dad. And, like I said, Sumit even said, my dad came to me one time and said, you have to appease your mom by lying to her because you can't reason with your mom sometimes. So it's just, I'd be interested to know the full dynamic there.
they're not going to discuss about this much. They're here to teach you about daughter-in-law in India, like the things they do in India.
All right, so the mom says, okay. Do I trust that? No. If I were Jenny, I'd be like, no, out of my house. You're done. Get out. I never want to talk to you again. I have beat my head against this wall enough times. I'm done. That's what I'd be like. I don't know. I would have been that way a long time ago. I would have said, like, no. Life is too short. In-laws, I tried. You're done. Get out.
Thing. And if you can do that, it's going to help.
We want to live together, but before living together, we should understand how to deal with the preparation of food, and etc.
I'm at my wit's end with it. So if I were Jenny, I'd be like, okay, I'll watch some YouTube videos. Get out. I'll figure it out. I'll buy some books, or I'll ask some friends. I have a friend who's Indian, a really good friend. She'll teach me, not y'all. Get out.
Living by ourselves in our own place, we're fine. It's just a different lifestyle for us.
हम लोग अगर कल्चर सिखाना चाहते हैं, हम लोग इसे किस लिए सिखाना चाहते हैं? हमें कोई का मतलब तो सिर्फ यही है ना
कि कह रहे सपना है कि मेरा कि सारे एक साथ रह सकें.
Okay, interesting. I don't think we've heard that before. Sumit's saying, it's my dream, we can all live together. Now, maybe he's saying, look, it's been my dream, but I don't think it's going to happen. But is that really what he's shooting for? Is he actually trying to achieve that? Because that does not seem possible unless Jenny becomes a slave and, says okay to everything, and submits herself to verbal abuse. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm overreacting because I'm certainly triggered and I'm certainly upset. And I have been for a while about this family situation, about the way that Jenny's being treated. And frankly, Sumit, both of them, the way both of them are being treated, not only by the parents, but by their society. I mean, I've been saying this from the beginning. Two people fall in love. Let it go. It's fine. They're in love. You don't like it. It looks weird to you. It's their choice to be in a relationship. Can two people not choose to be in a relationship? Two adults. Can they choose voluntarily? Does it affect you? No. Does it bother you? No. Does it bring down the GDP of a country? No. Does it cause spontaneous fires to erupt? No. Is it some kind of sin against humanity? No. So what, just imagine if everyone just said, that's not what I do, but whatever. Each to their own. Lid for every pot. Moving on in life. Why are you so concerned about who?
Is that what you want, though? Do you want to go the traditional way? You seem happy living the way we've been living all this time.
Sumit tells his family that it's his dream to all live together. And I'm like, what? I didn't know about this dream.
Well, of course. But I'm guessing Sumit's like, but that ain't ever going to happen given the way my mom is. So, yeah, it's his dream. I'm guessing he knows that'll never happen. But, and maybe we'll get some more clarification here, I guess there's a slight possibility that he's like, yeah, and, let's go in that direction, let's continue to expose you to abuse so that I can get my dream. Let's see what happens.
Live with my parents. I don't believe him. I don't believe that that's his dream because I think he's just trying to please his parents. But when it comes down to it, he better choose me or them, and that's it. I'm not living with his parents. Sorry, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, good for you, Jenny. I didn't think she would give in on that. She has a pretty good head on her shoulders, and I think I was, counting on her to be like, no, I've tried. Yeah. So, yeah, all right. So it's in Sumit's hands, I guess. And, God bless Jenny for trying to make it work and being nice about it. She had no reason to be nice. She has every reason to be not nice to the parents. But there's this idea, I'm guessing in Indian culture, is just like, as a parent, you get to do whatever you want to the generation below. Is that true? Some reverence for elders is helpful, but if they don't treat you well, I don't see any reason to put up with that.
लेकिन देखो इसका रिजल्ट तो 4 दिन में वैसे आना बड़ा मुश्किल है कि हमें ये पता चलेगा कि क्या इसमें कोई 1% भी चांस है कि हमारा रिलेशन अच्छा हो सकता है साथ में.
बिल्कुल कोशिश करेंगे.
Wait, they have 3 more days of this? About Jenny, I'd be like, 1 day's enough. Out.
Please don't say it's your dream to go and live with your parents. 'Cause
I said my dream is to live with my parents along with you, all together.
But why?
Right. And of course, he loves his family, loves his parents, feels loyal to them, and it's his dream, ideally, if he could be with Jenny and his parents. Okay, that's fine. I think it's important that Sumit follow it up and say, like, but if push comes to shove, I want to be with you. So there's that. Now, it's possible that Jenny is now reckoning with the fact that Sumit is, making a huge sacrifice in a way that maybe she hadn't really fully internalized because of his relationship with her. And sometimes that can make you feel really ashamed, to feel really bad. It's just like, oh no. By the way, I've been watching the Kenny and Armando scenes. I haven't been making videos about it because there's just not a lot to say other than to just cry along with them. And my goodness, they are saints. Not only are they thinking about adopting a child, which is a saintly thing, and to you out there watching right now who have adopted children and are treating the children well, you are saints. To save a child from, what would happen to them if they didn't have you is saintly, is just one of the most altruistic, wonderful, and positive things anyone could ever do. Not only are they thinking that, but they're thinking about adopting children who are HIV positive, which if there is a heaven, you're gonna go if you do something like that. Like that. My goodness. Kenny and Armando are just like shining beacons of wonderfulness and morality and emotional maturity. And incidentally, sometimes people ask me this, like, who do I identify with most? I'll say Armando. When he does things, I'm always like, oh, I can relate to that. Like the way he comes across and how he processes things. I don't know, of course, can't tell. But the way that Armando processes his emotions, the way he kind of reacts to things, the way he tries to help Kenny bridge the gap between his dad and Kenny. I could just, I've never been in that situation. I've never had to bridge the gap between my wife and my parents, but I don't know. Anyway, I just very much identify with Armando, but so I just want to be on the record and say, like, we should all be Kenny Armando. We should all aspire to be as good and as emotionally mature and as survivors as much as Kenny and Armando are. So it's just I'm so glad that they have included that couple in the show. Having said that, why did I get on that topic? I don't know. Let's get back to watching.
You don't say a lot of things because it can depress other person. If everything is fine with my family, if they accept you, fully love you, then why not?
Do you think that will happen?
You can see this is their trial, this is their effort. Now they're talking, not fighting.
Okay, that's interesting. That's not going to go over well with Jenny. I feel so bad for Jenny. I mean, she's so isolated right now. I could see her being like, wait, am I the crazy one? So that's disappointing for Sumit to say, yes, I do think it's... So one, he's saying, yes, I do think it's possible that you and my parents can live together, and it is my dream. So he's kind of saying, I'm going to be biased for you and my parents living together. So he's saying, yes, I do think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. And if I were Jenny, I wouldn't think it was possible. Then he's saying, because of the mom, by the way. The dad seems to be flexible. The mom seems to be very, very dug in, which is fine. It's her right to be that way. It's not helpful to her relationship with her son. And not only is he saying that, but he's saying, they're talking, they're not fighting. What? How do you consider that previous conversation they had earlier that evening not fighting, not provocative? I mean, they were absolutely insulting of Jenny and smiling about it. How is that talking and not fighting?
I seriously don't see your mom moving past this.
I love my parents. I want that to happen.
Yeah, he wants it to happen, and I get it. And maybe with the parents' influence in the house or something, I don't know. Is he... Of course, he has that dream, and that's great that he has that dream. Great that he has that want. Like, I would feel the same way if I was in his... Because Stacy and my parents do get along, but if they didn't, I would want them to get along. It's fine. But, you know, the reality is the mom, Jenny, was doing everything in her power, bending over backwards, sometimes literally, to make this work. Be nice, suck it up, take it on the chin. And the mom wasn't budging, and at the end of the day was eternally insulting and pressing on that button. You're old, everyone's gonna think you're old, you're disgusting, and okay, but for Sumit to be like, yeah, I think things are gonna work out, and they're trying. How are they trying?
It's fine. Yeah,
Everything is not going to be fine.
But
Okay.
then that's why it's a dream. You know, you don't want it just because you're having a bad experience with them. If you have a good experience, I think you would love to be taken care of.
I would never want to live with my parents at your age.
So she is saying, I wouldn't want to live with my parents at your age. Like, yikes, Jenny. You're a victim of people being ageist and being imposing a culture on having weird cultural rules about ages and what you're supposed to do, and for her to do that to him is equally unfair. Now, the level of her negativity is far below what's been imposed on her, but she's committing the same problem here of Sumit, you shouldn't want to live with your parents at your age. Now, I get it. She feels threatened right now. And if maybe she had someone in her court, she'd be a little bit more differentiated. But, I just want to point that out, that she's right now shaming him for a normal cultural norm to live with your parents, even if you're older as an adult. And even if it wasn't the cultural norm, it's fine. It's just something you want to do. We will pathologize it in America in particular. It is not a pathology to live with your parents. It's fine. Now, sometimes it can be a problem, but it's not inherently a problem.
Just get rid of me and have their son back. They're pretending for you that they're going to try, but I don't really believe that. But as far as living with them, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, good for Jen. I mean, even if there was a, say 5, 10, 15%, 20% chance that things would work out, it's not worth it. Like, I'm not gonna put up with the abuse. I've tried over and over and over again to make this work, and every time, I'm inviting the bee's nest into my bedroom. It's not okay. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself and take care of others, because we all deserve it. We really, really do.